They they come out with an album and they don't even have. Oh, it's over here. Why is it not in their uploads? These trolls.
Yeah, yeah, I noticed that the other day.
Do you
I
remember
guess
how long
real.
it's been since their
That's what I was gonna say. So their
last
last
album?
album came out in 2007.
Jesus, so it's 15 years.
Yes.
I was thinking somewhere between maybe 12 and 14. Anyway, Schweetstoof, uh, you good to go?
Yes.
All right. So we begin. I definitely can't like it. It's too perfect.
The thing about this whole album is, like, I don't think there's gonna be anything where we're gonna be like super hyped. It's just gonna be like there's gonna be a lot of really cool sounding stuff and like overall good music.
Yeah, I would say Savantgarde surprised me though. That's the one thing that would make me a little hesitant to agree with that statement completely. But I mean, it sounds very on brand to start. Just smooth, cool, sweet stuff. Kind of seems like this song should be called Silence. The vocals are like quieter than I feel like they ever are even. And they're always quiet.
Yeah. love the sound. It just feels like, almost like the album cover, where you're just kind of like floating in space.
Mm-hmm. Dude, I swear every good MCC song, it's like 80% of the way through the song always is incredible. And then I feel like the build-up is always maybe a little lackluster, but then once you reach that point, it's always really good. We just kind of hit that.
That was solid.
Yeah, it was solid. Like they did some interesting things there where like I feel like they had a lot of subtle vocals going on where it's very quiet and it's almost just like an instrumental effect. But I feel like the actual vocals being not much louder wasn't great. Like I feel like there should have been more contrast there. Not that they are ever loud with their vocals, but it's just like they have these kind of like whispers going throughout the song that are supposed to be kind of instrumental, and then when the actual vocals kick in, you're like, it's not all that different. Yeah. Which, I don't know. Yeah, I feel like it could have been a little bit better with that, but yeah, good stuff, good stuff. Anything you want to say about Ibros before we go to the familiar silence?
I was just sitting there looking at the album cover though, and I mentioned it. Like, I just feel like you're just like floating through space and time in like darkness when you listen to their music. Like, not like a bad darkness. It's very like almost puts you in a trance.
I feel like I can't think as deeply about it because I just picture like the Silver Surfer mixed with like the Jumpman logo.
Yeah,
that's all that comes to mind when I see that. Or like a fucking T-pose from testing. So even though it is pretty sweet, that association kind of just dulls that for me. I'll probably just go full screen since this is a music video.
Might as well.
But we've already seen this one, so it will not be new. But it is cool.
I haven't listened to the song a whole lot.
I think I listened to it maybe like 5 days ago or something. It's not on frequent rotation though. Good to start?
Good to start.
Alright, here we go.
I thought this music video looked really good.
Mm-hmm. I remember the smoke was pretty sweet too.
You should be aware that it's light years between me and your face. You could remember the good things more than the killings. We could take care of your feelings, leave them to die in silence. We
I
could
think
take
it was a
care
lot more
of
prominent in the song.
ambush and kill in silence. We could easily instantly go back to hell if we tried.
Yeah, the smoke shots are so sweet.
Like shadows cast in the morning, I'm dark when you're shining. 'Cause I have seen what your smile means, and so
Is it worth going for the buffering? Is this 720?
we could take care of your feelings, leave them to die in silence. We could take care of your realm, ambush and kill in silence. We could easily instantly go back to hell if we
I don't really feel like the environment and vibe switch up was necessary with this desert environment. I mean, it's a sick-ass area. They had a lot going for them, and so I don't really get why they insert that for, like, no reason. Because thematically, it's completely different than the rest of the video, if you just even pay attention to colors. Get this environment. Hold T. Now that I've heard the song so many times, it is not gibberish in the start of the music video. Because remember the first couple times we're like, are they even saying English the first couple lines?
Yeah.
And then once I listened to it on Spotify, I'm just like, oh, it's English. And now watching it again, I'm like, it's the same.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I think that's just, like, I don't think my opinion's really changed on that song. I think it's just a solid song by them.
Yeah.
Like, I know I said the last song was solid, but, like, it's just nothing that you're going to, like, search for and go listen to, but you're not going to be disappointed if it pops up on shuffle either.
Yep. But, I still think, from what they have available, it's probably still top 5, though. Or at least close. So
really?
I think so, yeah. Didn't we go through this? Didn't you think that? Or was that just Savantgarde that we kind of went through all that?
That, maybe it was on your list.
Maybe I did do Savantgarde. Or, well, I guess counting down the days, Sway, Savantgarde, Turn, and then it would maybe reach number 5, maybe. But probably it's not a lock at all. It would be number 5 at best. So I guess that claim is probably a little illegitimate. I'm probably blanking on some too. Anyway, should we head on to Darling?
Darling.
I have a feeling it's going to give us slightly different vibes than Critical Darling. Just a hunch.
Yeah, I would assume, but
I'm starting.
No.
Hey little darling, look at you. Hey little darling, look into my eyes.
I like.
Mm-hmm.
Hey little darling, call to arms. Hey little darling, come into my arms. Hey little darling, look at you. Hey little darling, look into my you ever fall in love?
I thought that was super good.
That song's elite. The rest
Yeah.
of the album's gonna have to try to beat that song. Like, I don't think Arrows or Silence even touch it. Just going in order here. I mean, we're only in song 3 out of 10, but that I think that you're talking about Silence being a top 5 song for you. Like that one is definitely up there for me.
Yeah, I think that's better than Silence, and definitely Arrows.
And I think right now it's in the position where the rest of the album has to try to beat that.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought it was a for them, like very vocally diverse song.
Absolutely.
And I just loved the build of it too. Like it started off that almost had that like 80s feel, and then like the drums slowly kicked in, and then it just built it all the way up to the end.
Yeah, like you talked about, like so much vocal variance. Here, I think you're getting a little bit of a echo with my voice, or I'm hearing that.
You go down.
So like the initial like Darling vocals were pretty interesting, and I like those. And then when they had that first like abrupt change to trigger either like a chorus or a bridge, I wasn't really paying attention. But that was really impressive how it just kind of stopped short. And that sounded great. And then the ending was like kind of a wavering vocal delivery too, where the voice was like weaker and shaky. So that was cool too.
Yeah.
I don't know, there was just a ton going on. And yeah, we kind of always say with MCC, it's just like, yeah, they kind of have one sound, and then in songs, typically it's kind of like one sound basically all the way through. Then maybe something like special at like 70%, 80% of the way through. But yeah, I feel like there was a lot to that.
And that usually with their music, it's just like, I just rely on really, really good flow with a ton of unique sounds that like I don't really get from anywhere else.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just very, very good instrumentation. Because I don't think anyone like lists this band for the vocals. Like, not very often are there vocal performances where you're like, oh wow, they absolutely murdered that. Like, it just because I think a lot of their instrumentals from their early stuff are really good too. It's just when you can add a very diverse and good vocal performance in some of their music with really neat instrumentals, like I think that's a very strong combo by them.
Yeah, because that's probably usually, I don't know if weakest point is the best way to describe it. It's something that they don't diversify a lot in most of their songs. It's just the voice kind of blends in. It's not what stands out, and they don't use it a ton. It's just kind of like another instrument essentially. But yeah, they did more in this, which was cool. And I have noticed with them, it's like I kind of with each new song that they've been coming out that I listen to, I want them to like try new things and do different stuff. But that's also kind of the thing that I loved about finding their music initially. I'm just like, oh, they just got this one sound that you can go to and really just chill with every single time. And I don't think they've deviated from like that vibe or that mood, but
Right.
I think they're finding the right balance there where they're making things different, introducing new stuff, but keeping kind of the same consistent sound that you love out of them. So that's been impressive, especially like it's been 15 years. So it's interesting picking right back up, even though 15 years since their album, not since they've released music.
There's been a lot of lineup change, and the fact that the band's still going.
Yeah, interesting. All right, so let's jump into 4 and 5, and then we'll maybe take a little break since I think Jack's gonna be here for a little bit, and I'll talk to him. Hopefully, my room that's probably about 85 degrees right now can cool down a little bit, and then we can start up soon after that. It's getting so hot in here, dude. And I also don't really want to turn on the fan or open the window, because then my audio might get screwed a little bit, but I don't know. We'll listen to these two, take a short break, and then can get back going to it.
Okay.
Good to go?
Yep.
Alright. Sleepy Eye June. I feel like this is going to be...
June's the best month, by the way. It's the best month, so...
June 18th, the best day. Best day ever.
Yeah, I'm hyped.
Alright, here we go. The sun in the rain. I'll try not to write this off like I did Sun in the Rain initially. For having the folksy sound at the start.
You will never leave behind, and heaven stands alone. And you can never change your mind, and heaven stands alone. I will never leave behind, and heaven stands alone. And I can never change my mind, and heaven stands alone.
That's a dope sound.
Totally. I feel like this is probably a... You probably do have to get used to the vocal delivery of this band on first couple listens through. Just because, like, at least as an American, like, the sound is very different. Just even the accent, the delivery, and it's soft-spoken. It's so different than most of the music that we typically hear.
Nowadays I feel so
So you
strong,
gotta get used to it a little bit.
and always stand
We are now, of course, but I'm saying for someone new.
alone, 'cause so long since gone, and always means for long. Wash me from the stench of you, to always stand alone. And wind, blow me from the dark and true, to sail away from you. Earth, shake your ground and let me fall, to always stand alone. Fire, burn my hope on piles of love, 'cause heaven lives alone.
There's like the ear candy at like these little parts, but like coming right off of Darling, it's just like it doesn't change at all, or there's nothing too significant about it so far for me.
I thought that like the lead guitar work was really, really good. Like at the beginning, I just liked the contrast between the acoustic and the lead, and then I just it's pretty good.
Yeah, it was another like solid song for me. I'm just like, yeah, that's solid. I think probably the least interesting to me thus far, either that or Arrows. But there just wasn't anything like special where it's gonna stand out to me and like be above anything of just like kind of a middle of the road MCC song. I feel like.
I might view it just slightly higher than that. Same thing. It was a different sounding song for them while being extremely consistently them at the same time. Like just when you think they're gonna wander off the reservation, like they don't leave.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
they might be on a different side, but they never end up leaving, which isn't a bad thing. It's just it was different sounding for them, and I can appreciate it.
Yep, and well, this is a lyric video, so I might as well go full screen on this too, because I do like the lyrics of this song too. Moving forward, do you think I should kind of keep hovering in the video, maybe in the top corner, just so we have like the timestamps, or should we keep it ambiguous?
I like ambiguous.
Okay.
Just
if
that
I
way
think
I'm
there's
not sitting
something
there looking at a timer.
significant, yeah, if there's something significant, I can look at time, I guess, but I guess we can keep it mysterious in general. Good to go?
Yep.
All right.
Yes, I've been looking for channels to dress up my soul. You have been running for glory to reading your whole. But there's no digging too deep in terms of the will. An endless wish for more. When solar curtains, there's always a reach for the shore, for the core. Tell me how it feels. You bend, you kneel. So tell me how it feels. We find this easy for the virgins, the road you ignore. When they worship is a dying, the lion before. When there's no balance to sweet, resistance resides. Then coming kingdoms roll. When as we walk in, the sun back to heaven tells white falls. In the end, it will heal. Now tell me how it feels. You bend, you kneel. So tell me how it feels.
Yeah, no, it's one of my favorite parts of the song.
I'm thinking with this song, the choruses are just impeccable. I feel that's by far my favorite part. I feel like the choruses are just killer in this song. There's enough change where the whole thing is interesting. But the little And not even the chorus, I guess. Like, even the part immediately before the chorus, typically, too. They've got, like, a little spooky organ sound. And I feel like that's what's amazing with this song. I'm also a sucker for songs layering other parts of the song on top of each other. Just having a shit ton of things going on at once. Love that.
Feels weird.
Yeah, I don't know how I'll stack up that versus Darling. Maybe Darling was better? I don't know. Not sure.
Yeah, probably give Darling one listen too, but
Hard to make a judgment after one listen,
Yeah.
but Darling was impressive. I still think that song is great. Those are probably still top 2 of the first 5 for me. Silence maybe 3, Sleepy Eye June maybe 4, Arrows probably 5. But I've liked it all. It's all been good. And we will.
if I were to rank the first 5 songs here,
Mm-hmm.
I would probably go Darling, Savantgarde, Sleepy Eye June, Silence, Arrows.
Okay.
But I mean, I think that's a pretty loaded first 5.
Yeah, and the last 5 will be all fresh. We have nothing we're familiar with, so that will be cool. What's your pick
Longer songs.
for what you think will be the best of these last 5? I'm thinking The Dying Option might be the best one.
I was gonna go, yeah, maybe the title track.
Mm-hmm. That or Dusk. Those would be my
I'm
picks.
I'm a sucker for long songs, so like hopefully Don't Look Now is just an awesome 7-minute journey.
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
I'm pretty hyped for that one.
They don't have a lot of short songs. Like 3 minutes, I feel like that's a very short song for them. With
Correct.
Dusk. So I don't know. I feel like they might be very focused on that one. I'm interested to hear. Yeah, I'm very interested to see the extremes here with 7:14 and 3. Because well, they have quite a few long songs and they're pretty good, but I haven't seen a lot of short ones, so I'm interested to see that. All right, I'm gonna
Yeah,
try to cool down
I-
this room.
I do like that comment and see how focused they are because they normally do kind of wander for
Yeah.
7 minutes.
For sure.
Yep.
All right, can get into second half of the album. We got Don't Look Now, the long song, longest of the group, right? Yeah, by a couple minutes. Valkyria also looks kind of long. Yeah, so
The
I'd
audio
say
looks muted on the YouTube.
yeah, it is. Okay, good to go.
Yep.
All right. This quiet drum backing is interesting. It's like war drums. This song is fucking beautiful to start.
I would not be disappointed for an instrumental.
You've been invited, but you don't know how to kill. When still, now you're at it again. And you've been summoned, but you don't know if you will. When still, now you're at it again. Yes, now you're at it again. Leaving home, 'cause soldiers don't come back. Hey, don't leave home. So soldiers, don't look now. You're so delighted at the thought of being ill. When still, now
That was a pretty legit song.
That was really good. I know to a lot of people, they'd probably listen to that and they think they're like probably like super simple and boring, but like when you sit down, you listen to all the details and layers in their music.
Mm-hmm.
Like it can be like the most subtle change, but like they're constantly like just adding new sounds and
Yeah, the
I don't know.
layering and building was great, especially like first half of the song, building up like to the start of the vocals. It just got better and better. And I love
Yes,
songs that build like that for sure. I think you mentioned that earlier too. So yeah, that was sweet.
yeah, it just flows so good, and I think it's just so more detailed than kind of meets the eye or not, or I guess the ear. Like to a lot of people, they'd probably just listen and be like, "Nah." But I
And
feel like
even though it's over 7 minutes long, I didn't think it dragged really, except for maybe like the last 20, 30 seconds. I'm like, okay, it's a little long, not a lot changing, but I think it was really strong just about all the way through. It was good.
yeah,
Because I'm kind of prone to getting bored of repetitiveness, probably more than the average person anyway. Yeah, good. Any other closing thoughts, or should we move on to Tamsa?
yeah, I just
Tamsa?
very, very it's like solid start to the second part of this album, and then when you look at it, like the change, because um, Savantgarde, however you say it, um,
It's a lot more
kind of was
aggressive at times.
yeah, and then this was kind of flowed like good change of pace.
Yeah, I agree. Well, actually, it has kind of switched up a decent amount, like almost alternating. I feel like maybe the
Yeah,
first two are fairly similar in sound. I'd say Silence is a little more dynamic than Arrows was. Darling was a big change of pace. Sleepy Eye June, kind of like a little bit more folksy, but somewhat simpler in its complexion and static throughout the song, as in like it didn't change a ton. Savantgarde, big deviation, fairly aggressive at times. And then Don't Look Now, also very different, slow build up, but beautiful. Yeah. So let's see what they go to next. Good to go?
yep.
All right. Oh shit. I like this sound to start. It's almost like Stranger Things.
I love, yeah, I love the '80s cyberpunk feel.
I feel like this sound has great promise.
You know I always dream of before, like a time machine.
Okay, this vocal delivery sounds way different than normal too.
You always get what you get, giving in.
Like more auto-tune, more techno like.
Remember
It was
what I said about truth.
very layered,
Kiss you.
very filtered.
Holy shit, I'm fascinated by this song already.
not just a dream. But all that I can see is what lingers. It makes me wanna wake up and scream. And I might not be much of a singer when swimming is so hard up the stream. Remember what I sang about truth? It kills you. So don't let it in. No, don't let it win.
Super impressed. I'll let you start.
Like, for them, extremely simple, which doesn't like mean it's bad. It's just like usually they're all very detailed and extremely layered and stuff like that. Um, Super simple, but a very beautiful song.
See, okay, so you said simple, which I don't think I
Mhm.
disagree with, but stylistically, I don't know if I can point to a single song and be like, oh, this song is like that song. Like, the full
Yeah,
complexion of that, like, sure, it might have been simple, but the idea is, like, different than, I feel like, kind of
yeah.
anything.
Yeah, no, like the sound was completely different for them. Um,
I think almost just, like, in general, like, can you think of a song in just, like, any song that you listen to that you're like, oh, this is kind of like that? Like, nothing really comes to mind. The closest thing maybe to me is, like, Sound of Silence, or just, like, something that's somber, but it doesn't have that same sound where there's also some, like, the interesting auto-tune or futuristic sound, because even the beat kind of had that futuristic, like you kind of mentioned, like, space, technology, like, vibe.
only thing I could really think that would sound similar would be like Kavinsky.
Kavinsky?
I don't know. I don't know if I've showed you anything by him.
I don't think so. But I
Kinda
just,
has
that was a very different song to me, and I was absolutely all about it.
Oh no, 100%. Well,
Yeah.
by simple, I just meant like the sound was very original and different for them. By simple, I just meant like normally they got all these different layers and little
Mm-hmm.
like minor accents going on, but that just had a very overall kind of driving sound to it that didn't deviate a whole lot,
Mm-hmm.
but like it flowed super nicely and it still definitely worked.
Yeah, I knew what you meant, and I agree. That's kind of why I was like adding on. I'm like, even though it's simple, like they do all this other stuff that's like incredible. I would say, with how awesome a lot of that is, I wish there was maybe a little less of kind of like interlude within the song, you know? Because you kind of had just
Right.
the like that kind of would go for like 20-30 seconds at times. So I feel like if that was like condensed maybe a little bit, that would be better, or if they were doing a little bit more. But overall, I thought that was awesome. Super cool.
Yeah.
All
Yeah,
right.
no, anything they do instrumental wise either, like I enjoy it. Like it
Yeah,
can
they
be
kill it.
redundant. Like instrumentally, I'm always usually pretty impressed.
Well, it was just like very bare bones at those parts too. Like it wasn't
yes.
it wasn't, oh, our vocals are gone, so let's do other stuff with instrumentals. It's like, let's just keep the bass track kind of rolling here. But I'm still very impressed. I'm gonna listen to that a shit ton. I feel it already. I'm
Yep.
I'm very excited about Tamsa, whichever one it is. Darling, still digging Savantgarde, but those are my top 3 at the moment, I think. You good to go?
Yep.
All right. I'm fascinated to see what these last 3 are, what direction they go now.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was not expecting that. That was very different from the start, all the rest.
Meltdown downtown, drink round eyes frown, girls let out. When it's too late, wielding, shielding, love life fielding, Venus reigns. When it's too late.
Just had the most intense eyebrow raise.
I'm so fascinated right now.
Mainstream, bloodstream, daydream, kill scream, prom queen's drunk. When it's too late. Nose job, heartthrob, blowjob, lynch mob, vixen's vile. When it's too late. You're gonna need to carry on. And now you're riding to find your own. And now you're shining to guide us down. When now we're dying to see your crown.
This song is starting to sound very interesting.
Definitely taking me on a journey right now.
Mm-hmm. I've got a lot of shit to say about the first half of the song, too. Building, layering.
20 years of heartbreaks.
Well, I said I had a lot to say about that first half, but I realized that's not exactly true. I think the first half of that song made me realize I have a lot to say about what I was saying earlier. How, like, I was talking about generalities of how, like, their vocal performance always is. I think the vocal performance has been different in every single song. Like, I think every single one you're like, oh, that's different than this song, and the song before it, and the song before it, and the song before it. Like, they're changing it up every time, which is so interesting.
But it's still distinctly them.
Yeah, like, it's their sound. You definitely recognize it. It's not hurting their quality, it's not hurting their consistency, but they're trying new shit, and they're doing it super impressively. I would say that style was... Like I said, I'm like the biggest eyebrow raise right now. I'm just like...
It was different.
Yeah.
It was dark.
Yes. And so I don't know if I initially loved that one as much, but it's very fascinating that they have switched it up vocally so much in every song.
The instrumental on that song, I really love it.
Really good, especially second half. Or, well, I think like that minute, like 3.5 to like 5.5. That was awesome, I thought.
Yeah, like I thought the whole second half, just even without vocals, was really good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very, very, very good song.
Yep. Shoot, I feel like there was something else that I was...
It's weird. They go from one of the most simple songs on the album to probably one of the most detailed.
Yeah, they're all over the place. They're alternating, it seems like, with just kind of what they're doing, but I've been impressed so far for sure.
Oh yes.
Okay, so Dusk, 3 minute, just about flat. I think this will be very interesting, I believe. Shoot, there's something just on that fucking edge of my mind that I think that I was gonna mention. I'm not remembering it. Let's just go in. You good to go?
Yeah, we got to unmute the YouTube sound.
Cool.
I'm ready. I already have a comment about the song.
Okay.
Deep ties, deep ties. Fucking awesome.
So my focus prediction seems like it might be completely wrong potentially. Unless they go really hard for like 2 minutes, but very long build up. Unless it's a straight up interlude, but I guess we'll see.
It's gonna be instrumental.
Yeah, we've got like a minute left, I think, so complete interlude instrumental. I was very interested to see like a more condensed song, but I guess not. I mean, these background sounds that they've added for the last minute and a half are cool, but underwhelming with what my expectation was.
think I could listen to this on loop or just fall asleep.
Yeah, totally. I don't think this is like an interlude that I would like add to my library though. I don't see myself
like,
really
it
ever
doesn't
playing
provide
this.
a whole lot.
Yeah.
Cool sounding.
Because there are some instrumentals or interludes that like I will add, but 3 minutes of not much of anything is not gonna make it for me. That'll probably be the only song I don't add, unless this last one isn't great.
Looking for royalty-free music.
So that sound has probably been in their vault for. So if you pull up a new tab, go to YouTube. Just type in like Magna Carta Cartel, and then let me just click it. I want to see.
Oh, just search it?
Yeah, I want to see if it pops up. Scroll down. Keep going. I'll let you know if I see it. Oh, nope. So I guess Magna Carta Cartel. Oh, yeah. Ghost member revealed. Go up. Click that. Nope, down.
I think we
Omega's
might be
true.
delayed a little bit.
Go down.
Omega's true identity?
Yep. Yeah.
Yep, same sound.
So this song, this little interlude's kind of. That's why it hit me right away. I was
Hi.
curious to see what they did with it.
My name is Martin, and I've been a part of the rock band Ghost for 7 years.
I was just curious to see. I wanted to make sure it was
Some
the
of
exact
you
same thing.
people
That's
know
all I had.
this.
Yeah. Damn, that's huge ass text for a tattoo.
Oh yeah.
Like, real thick. Okay,
Well.
finale?
I was just curious to see if that was the exact sound. Of
Yep, you were on it.
So.
You were on it. Well, this was 5 years ago, right?
Mm-hmm. So this is kind of right when he had left Ghost and came back, and then I think he had just like began to like release like where he remastered Sway
Mm-hmm.
and Turn and like the Demon King. Like that's just when he left and came back to MCC.
Okay.
So.
Alright, one more, and then we can
Okay.
do a little wrap-up of the album, and then I can get out of this sweaty-ass room.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's cool. Good to go?
The title track. Yep.
Alright.
They say as soon as we're born we are dying, back to where we all were before. When the last blow of mercy is charming, never ever look at the door. All my life I've been looking for meaning, a devil or a god or a quest, but we all know what it means to be living, and nothing is to hope for the best.
Hey, Dad, hear us calling.
Female voice.
Dear old friend, hear us calling.
When you tell me that you're worshipping darkness, you're just looking for some place to be. Take a look into the meaning of lonely and see just what real evil can be. Oh, I remember when you told me you'd be there, how I'd never answer your call. And we all know what it means to be dying, and nothing is is to hope for it all. Come midnight rain, wash us away. Come thunderstorm, ignite the way on. I'll keep my eyes on the 12 o'clock news. And if you're listening to what you're saying, it doesn't bear no logical sense. Be aware that we will one day defeat you, when dying is your only defense. When I figure since your darkness is endless, there's no rush to decide when we fight. So sit tight and take care of your loved ones. And Father, leave on the lights. Come midnight rain, wash us away. Come thunderstorm, ignite the way on. I'll keep my eyes on the 12 o'clock.
Hey, death, hear us calling. Hey, dear old friend, hear us calling. Hey, death, hear us calling. Hey, now. Dying option.
What are your thoughts?
I thought that was still good, and I think it's a very good song. However, I would not say that it engaged me to the same level as the very good songs of this album. It was kind of like the female voice like got my ears to perk up. I'm like, and like the actual style was again like a little bit different than normal, and a cool sound at base level. It didn't really have like an X factor for me where I'm just like, oh, this song is really interesting. And I feel like I got that out of 3 or 4 on this album. And even ones that are like a level lower, or that I would say maybe this is like a level lower than kind of like that.
I think I'm kind of on the opposite. I think this is one of my probably more favorite songs on the album. I really enjoyed it.
I kind of did expect you to like this one more than me. I don't really know why, but I still liked it.
I think the placement of it is perfect. I think it's a perfect closer to an album. 'Cause that matters to me a lot. Like obviously, because I think for the album, I thought the opener was overall in context to this album. I thought the opener was a little underwhelming.
Agreed.
But I thought this was a really, really good closer. And I think that's a big deal when you listen to an album for the first time. Just it leaves a good taste in your mouth.
Mm-hmm.
I liked because if you kind of chop this song up into thirds, like it was very simple for the first third, and then the drums kicked in the second, and then a little more guitar in the end. I just kind of like the progression there. Um, I mean, I thought the vocals were neat, especially with the female feature. It did something new, and I enjoyed it quite a bit.
Yeah. And that's not to say that I thought it was bad or even like one of the worst songs on this album. It's not like top tier for me because I think Tamsa's up there, Darling. I actually Tamsa and Darling might be the top two. I'm not sure where Savantgarde would fit if it's like up there with those or not. We'll say those are my top three. And then next tier is probably Dying Option. The two longer ones, Don't Look Now and Valkyria, are solid, like really solid. And you can probably lump Dying Option and Silence in there for like that next tier for me. Sleepy Eye June, close. And then I guess it's just Arrows that was not my favorite. I still added it, but
yeah,
as you said, just kind of underwhelming
in the
compared to everything else.
In the grand scheme of the band, I think Arrows is a really good song. It's just compared to this album, I think it kind of there's a shadow over it. Like
I totally agree. Because I think this album is extremely impressive compared to, or it just has a lot more variation. I feel like they were a lot more exploratory, did more, and did just a lot of impressive things that I wasn't really expecting.
Mm-hmm.
And so I am more impressed with this album than like the rest of their discography, and I think they did an awesome job. So yes, I would agree that like Arrows, if I listened to it a couple weeks ago, I'd be like, oh, this is a pretty sweet song by them. Listening to this album all the way through, I'm like, it's the weak link, but still good. But yeah. What any wrap up thoughts on it? How does it compare to Impera?
The thing is, I can't really compare these guys to anyone else because
I
I
know.
don't have.
That was a troll question.
Yeah, I know that. It's just like I don't have any other thing remotely close to this genre, or whatever genre you want to call this music.
Mm-hmm. That's why Tamsa was such like a brain fuck to me in a way. It's like, this is kind of different than most of what I listened to begin with, and then they went like farther out than that, and I'm like, oh, I don't know how to categorize this, but it's awesome.
Yeah, I would easily say this. I'd probably give it like a 7.5 overall. 8, maybe?
I feel like I'd go higher than that. Do you remember what we gave Impera? I feel like that was like low 9s out of both of us.
Yeah.
Like 9.3 or something. Well, that was like, we loved that. We loved that album, but yeah.
Impera is probably one of my favorite albums of all time.
Yeah.
There's not very many albums that I've like put in like that or like listened to, and
I feel like this would be like an 8.3 or an 8.4 for me, something like that.
Yeah, I think an 8, like a solid 8. I'm really interested to see if we went through and break everything, but
yeah.
Yeah, obviously who knows with because I'll be probably listening to it. Like my favorite part about this band is it's very unique and like I love like working to this music. Like I can just have it kind of playing and it's just something I can focus. Well, let's do and focus.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Great walking song or music too.
yeah, I mean,
I think I said this
adds
before,
that.
like being in nature, like it's a sweet band for just being like kind of out in nature.
Yeah, I'm not a nature guy, so like this is like great night driving music for me. Like if I'm just
That
going
too.
for a drive at night, like I
Well, I guess
enjoy
my
it.
exposure to nature is also like pitch black, me walking through a forest with a trail. So,
Yeah,
so
so
my nature's a little different than most people's nature.
I would be spooked.
I think my vision's getting better, by the way, a little bit with the diet improvements. I think it's actually helping,
Yeah.
which is interesting.
Hmm.
It's cool. Okay, probably gonna stop this in a second. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I want to add. I guess we can think of next one that we would do. Well, I don't know what the next one will be, but something we could do in the future. I think Joji might be coming out with a new album soon, and I would be excited to look at that. Also, he's going to be at the Armory in October, and Zach said he might be able to get tickets for that, so that'd be sweet. Did I tell you I'm
Zach
going
has
to?
trouble.
Did I tell you that I'm going to Oliver Tree in August at the Armory too?
Oh no, you didn't. You already have tickets?
So I bought 2 tickets, and I texted Zach. I'm like, "Do you want to go?" And he's like, "Oh, my dad just bought a suite." I'm like, or maybe not bought a suite, but since they have that connection,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think the dude is like, "Oh, you can have a suite." So we should be going for that, which will be sweet. No pun intended on
Are you
that
gonna
one.
like try to second market your ticket
Yeah,
or third party sell?
yeah, I'm gonna try to do that. It's on Ticketmaster. It's not been letting me like set up a card to like do that, or each time I try to sell them, it screws up. Okay, let's wrap a bow on this, and then we can chat for a little bit, and then I'm getting out of this room. Final thoughts. The dying option. Take it away.
Considering they've been relatively dormant for what 15 years.
By the way,
Um,
last album was 2009, so 13 actually.
was
At
it
least on
9?
on Spotify, their last album it said was released 2009.
Let me
So it'd be
double
sitting
check.
at 13
This says '07 on Apple Music.
for
No, Good Morning Restraint.
yeah, it says 2009 on Spotify.
Either or.
March 1st,
Seems
2009.
fitting.
What's yours say?
March 1st, 2007.
The hell?
But anyway, regardless, considering they were inactive for a long time and then kind of got some life back into them in 2017, they've been only released EPs since the first album. If this is kind of a return where they're going to be looking to put out more and more albums and EPs, I definitely think this is a positive direction for this band. And my kind of favorite part about this band is, I mean, as you can probably see on the screen, they have what 6,000 subscribers.
I was gonna mention that too.
Like-
That's so small.
It's like we were one of the less than 1,000 people to listen to this song. So this band kind of holds a special place to me. Like I feel like it's mine. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So it's really awesome to see they're going in a direction that I can get behind.
Yeah, like I don't
So
know
that's
what their
exciting
future
for me.
plans are, but listening to this album and even the 2017 on stuff, it's just like, ooh, they're going in an interesting direction. I don't think they came out with the last single was "Counting Down the Days," which was probably my favorite song by them, 2018. So I mean, it had been 4 years even since then, but I think their first kind of revival stuff really good. This I thought was spectacular. So if they keep going, I'm very interested to see. And I am surprised that's only 6,000 subscribers on YouTube, because I think Spotify listeners was like almost 140,000. But
Right.
I don't know, still small in the grand scheme of a lot of the music industry, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Awesome stuff. That's going to be it for The Groove Gathering and the first instance of The Groove Group.
Sponsored by DATC.
Sponsored by
If you know,
Dick
you know.
Around the Campfire.
If you know, you know.
And we will have probably name pending. I'll try to think of some catchy shit for our iteration of the Groove Group, probably before it's released, but we'll see what that ends up being.